Hey guys, Dr. Nagel here. We're going to talk about hyperbaric and how it can help with all the brain problems we see in here. So dementia, Alzheimer's, autism, concussion, post-concussion syndromes. And if you understand the physiology, you can see how really it helps all tissues to heal. But we're just going to talk about brain today. Maybe in the upcoming days here we'll talk about autoimmunity and how it affects our genes, our gene expression, and things like that. Today is just about brain. So I injure my brain and I get scar tissue or damaged tissue in there. How am I going to get it to heal? And most of us at this point know that the concussion syndromes in the NFL, guys that have had multiple concussions, they end up going crazy, having panic disorders and anxiety and become suicidal. And this happens a lot with head trauma. And they just think that that's the way they are and don't realize there's something that can help them. And or you come down to a high school or college athlete that's getting a concussion and then they can't concentrate in school and they just, it's such a, it's so subtle, they just feel like they're kind of losing their mind. So what can help with that? Well, hyperbaric oxygen can help heal it. And I'm going to explain the mechanism of how that works. So basically, here is a blood vessel. And so if you go from oxygen in the lungs goes to the blood cells, and I'm going to draw those blood cells. So here's your blood cells, right? And I draw them like this because when you get down, when oxygen starts diffusing into the tissues, it's coming out of the capillaries. And when it gets down to the capillaries, there's only enough room in that capillary for blood cells to line it up kind of one by one, like in a single file line. And these blood vessels, these blood cells carry oxygen. And so a lot of people in this viral culture know what a pulse oximeter is. So your blood cells can only carry so much oxygen. So if you do the little thing on your finger, pulse oximeter, and it says 98% saturation, that means you can't get any more oxygen on that cell. So if your brain isn't healing, it's not because your cells aren't carrying oxygen to it, it's because the oxygen's not getting to the brain. So if we have, say, an injury here, right here, this blood cell can't get past it, right? So if my injury is all over here, I'm not getting any oxygen to that tissue to heal. So what does hyperbaric do? So as you increase pressure, and you can increase oxygen concentration, that pressure, the pressure is the key, it actually pushes that oxygen into the plasma, into the liquid that's in the blood. It's in the liquid of the blood. So it pushes it into the liquid, and it's usually not in there, and that liquid then can diffuse past that injury point and heal the tissue behind the injury. And I'm telling you, we've had cases in here where people have not been able to read for 5 years. I'm going to interview that case. Not been able to read for 5 years, is now reading books in the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. I mean, some really remarkable stuff. And it's happening because the pressure puts the oxygen into the fluid, it's called the plasma, and it makes it dissolve. It's kind of like if you have a soda bottle and it's under pressure, you can't see the bubbles. As soon as you open it, it's like here. As soon as it opens, it pushes that oxygen into that damaged area and allows it to heal. So that's the mechanism. Most people don't know how that works. That's how one of the many ways that we're helping people with brain problems. I'm going to keep talking about hyperbaric. I'm pretty fired up about it. I spent a whole week learning, more about last week. I spent the whole week learning about it. So, see you in a few days, hopefully.